Welcome to my channel StarWire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. The golden lights of Mexico City's most prestigious cinema are casting long shadows across the red carpet. The air is thick with anticipation, cameras are flashing like lightning in a summer storm. And then, she appears. Jessica Chastain. And in that moment, time seems to stop. What happened on that red carpet wasn't just another celebrity appearance. It was a masterclass in elegance, a statement that reminded everyone why Jessica Chastain isn't just an actress, she's a force of nature. But there's so much more to this story than what the cameras captured that night. Welcome back to StarWire Daily, where we dive deep into the moments that define Hollywood's biggest stars. I'm your host, and tonight, we're taking you behind the velvet rope of one of the most talked about premieres of the year. Because what Jessica wore that evening, it wasn't just a dress. It was a declaration. Let's rewind to Tuesday evening in Mexico City. The premiere of Dreams, a film that's been generating Oscar buzz since its festival debut, was set to be one of the most glamorous events of the award season. But nobody, and I mean nobody, was prepared for what Jessica Chastain would bring to that red carpet. She emerged from her sleek black car like something out of a classic Hollywood film. The dress, oh, that dress, was a study in sophisticated rebellion. Crafted by renowned designer Valentino, this wasn't your typical premiere gown. The silhouette was architectural, almost sculptural, hugging her frame in all the right places while maintaining an air of mystery that only someone with Jessica's confidence could pull off. But here's what makes this moment so fascinating. And this is something the mainstream media completely missed. Jessica almost didn't wear that dress. Sources close to her styling team tell us that there were 3 different options laid out in her hotel suite that afternoon. 3 completely different vibes, 3 different messages she could send to the world. The first was a shimmering gold number that would have been safe, predictable, everything Jessica Chastain is not. The second was a bold red creation that would have matched her famous crimson hair perfectly, but perhaps would have been too on the nose. And then there was the Black Valentino, the wild card, the choice that required absolute confidence to pull off. Her longtime stylist, who's worked with A-listers for over 2 decades, later admitted that when Jessica walked out in that black dress, she knew they had made the right choice. It wasn't just about the dress, she told a close friend. It was about Jessica owning her power, her femininity, and her place in this industry. And own it she did. As Jessica made her way down that red carpet, something magical happened. The usual chaos of a premiere, the shouting photographers, the rushing publicists, the nervous energy, all of it seemed to quiet down. She moved with the grace of someone who's been doing this for over 2 decades, but with the excitement of someone who still genuinely loves what she does. The dress itself was a marvel of engineering as much as artistry. The fabric, a luxurious matte crepe that caught the light in just the right way, had been specially treated to photograph beautifully under the harsh camera flashes. The cut was deceptively simple, but every line, every curve had been calculated to perfection. The back of the dress featured a subtle cutout that revealed just enough skin to be intriguing without being provocative. But let's talk about what this moment really represents, because fashion is never just about fashion, especially when it comes to someone like Jessica Chastain. This is a woman who has spent her entire career fighting for representation, for equal pay, for roles that showcase the complexity of women. And in choosing this particular look for this particular night, she was making a statement about sophistication, about maturity, about a different kind of beauty that Hollywood doesn't always celebrate. At 46, Jessica Chastain is at the height of her powers. She's no longer the ingenue fighting for recognition. She's the established star who can command attention simply by being herself. And that confidence was evident in every step she took that night. I've been covering red carpets for years, and I can tell you that there's something different about the way certain stars carry themselves. There's an energy, an aura that you can feel even through photographs and videos. Jessica had that energy in spades that night in Mexico City. The way she interacted with fans was particularly noteworthy. While many celebrities rushed through the press line, Jessica took genuine time with people. She signed autographs, posed for selfies, and had real conversations with the Mexican press, all while looking absolutely flawless. It's this combination of accessibility and glamour that makes her so compelling as a public figure. But here's where the story gets really interesting. Dreams, the film she was premiering, isn't just another Hollywood production. It's a passion project that took over 5 years to bring to the screen. Jessica isn't just starring in it. She's also one of the executive producers, having fought tooth and nail to get the story told exactly the way she envisioned it. The film deals with complex themes of ambition, sacrifice, and the cost of success. Themes that mirror Jessica's own journey in Hollywood. In many ways, that black dress wasn't just red carpet attire. It was armor for a warrior who has been fighting these battles for 2 decades. There's something deeply moving about watching someone who has worked so hard finally getting the recognition they deserve. Jessica's career hasn't always been easy. She's talked openly about the struggles of being a serious actress in an industry that often prefers its women young and uncomplicated. She's fought for better roles, better pay, and better representation not just for herself, but for all women in the industry. That night in Mexico City, standing on that red carpet in that stunning black dress, she embodied everything she's been working toward. She looked like a woman who knows exactly who she is and isn't afraid to show the world. The international fashion press went absolutely wild. Within hours, that dress was being dissected, analyzed, and praised across every major fashion platform. Vogue Mexico called it a masterpiece of understated elegance. Harper's Bazaar described it as the perfect balance of classic Hollywood glamour and modern sophistication. But perhaps the most telling response came from her peers. Other actresses, designers, and industry insiders flooded social media with praise. This wasn't just professional courtesy. This was genuine admiration for someone who had managed to create a moment that felt both timeless and completely contemporary. What's fascinating is how this appearance fits into Jessica's larger fashion evolution. If you look back at her red carpet looks over the years, you can see a clear progression. In her early career, she often played it safe with predictable gowns and conventional styling. But as she's gained confidence and stature in the industry, her fashion choices have become bolder, more personal, more reflective of who she truly is. The Mexico City premiere look represents the culmination of this evolution. It's sophisticated without being stuffy, glamorous without being flashy, confident without being arrogant. It's the look of a woman who has nothing left to prove and everything to celebrate. Sources tell us that Jessica spent over 3 hours getting ready that evening. Not because she needed that much time, but because she wanted everything to be perfect. This was more than just a premiere. It was a celebration of a project she'd poured her heart into, and she wanted to honor that with her appearance. Her makeup artist, who has worked with her for several years, created a look that enhanced Jessica's natural beauty without overpowering it. The focus was on her striking green eyes and that famous red hair, styled in loose waves that caught the light beautifully as she moved. Every detail was considered, from the vintage Cartier jewelry that complemented the dress perfectly to the custom-made shoes that allowed her to glide across the red carpet with ease. This level of attention to detail is what separates true style icons from mere fashion followers. But the real magic happened when Jessica started doing interviews. This is where you could see why she's considered one of the finest actresses of her generation. She spoke about dreams with such passion, such intelligence, that you couldn't help but be drawn in. She discussed the film's themes, her character's journey, and the collaborative process of bringing the story to life, all while looking absolutely radiant. There was a moment, and this wasn't captured by most of the cameras, where a young aspiring actress approached her during a break in interviews. Jessica stopped everything she was doing to have a real conversation with this young woman. She offered encouragement, advice, and genuine warmth. It was a reminder that behind all the glamour and success, Jessica Chastain is someone who remembers what it was like to be fighting for her dreams. This is what makes moments like these so powerful. Yes, we're talking about a beautiful dress and a glamorous premiere, but we're really talking about something much deeper. We're talking about a woman who has worked incredibly hard to get where she is, who uses her platform to lift others up, and who continues to challenge herself and the industry with every choice she makes. That black dress wasn't just fashion. It was a symbol of everything Jessica Chastain represents. Strength, elegance, intelligence, and a kind of timeless beauty that comes from being completely comfortable in your own skin. As the evening wound down and Jessica made her way into the theater for the screening, there was a sense that something special had happened. The red carpet photographers were already reviewing their shots, knowing they had captured something extraordinary. The fashion editors were frantically calling their offices, preparing features that would run in magazines around the world. But perhaps most importantly, young women watching at home and around the world had seen an example of what it looks like to be successful, confident, and graceful all at the same time. In an era where celebrity often feels manufactured or performative, Jessica Chastain's authentic elegance stands out like a beacon. The success of Dreams at the box office and with critics has proven that Jessica's instincts about the project were right. But beyond the professional triumph, that night in Mexico City represented something even more valuable, a moment when talent, hard work, and authentic style came together to create something truly memorable. And that's what we love about moments like these here at StarWire Daily. They remind us why we fell in love with Hollywood magic in the first place. When someone like Jessica Chastain steps onto a red carpet and creates a moment that feels both aspirational and accessible, both glamorous and real, we're reminded of the power of authentic stardom. What did you think of Jessica's stunning premiere look? Are you as excited as we are to see Dreams when it hits theaters nationwide next month? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing from you all about these incredible fashion moments and the stars who create them. And if you enjoyed diving deep into this story with me tonight, make sure you're subscribed to StarWire Daily because we've got so many more exclusive behind-the-scenes stories coming your way. From upcoming premieres to award season preparation, we're bringing you all the glamour and insider access you crave. Until next time, keep dreaming big and stay glamorous. This is StarWire Daily, and I'll see you very soon.